Alright,
There's the addendum if you need it, that went out later. But we have that too, it's in the pack, came in later pack, that's it, right there, the last page, yep, you got it. Alright,
Okay, call our meeting to order. Next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of our last meeting.
I move to approve the minutes.
We have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Time for public comment or input? Anyone from the public that wants to have some input? We'll hold it in abeyance if somebody shows up. Discussion and possible action. Review spills, one from Excel.
yeah, that one was in warehouse where lightning struck a transformer,
Okay,
blew it right up, so they had, non-PCB, vegetable oil in that one.
okay, good.
So it wasn't hard to clean up. There was some got in the storm sewer, but they had that off, so they think they had a complete, as complete as you can recovery. They cleaned up some soil there and stuff too, so. I did get another one yesterday, from paper mill, 5 gallons of wastewater slipped out on them. They thought they had all of that too. I didn't have the recovery stuff, so I didn't put it on the list. I'll put it on the spring report. But that was it for this time.
Alrighty. Next item is grant for EPCRA.
That's our operations grant for this, committee. It's, like I said, approximately 65-39, depending on what percentage they cut out of there, like they usually do. No approval needed, that's just for you guys. Notice that is our budget, so it's not, we don't run on a big budget. So that's it on that one.
Review county's role through LEPC for charging responsible parties for spills.
Yeah, so that's, we get tasked with that, or my office does, if the DNR typically handles it. If there's a fuel spill or something along the highway, I know they handle it. If they don't collect, then it comes back to the county, and then I bill those people, and we collect through the counties that, we take it off their taxes or whatever, the other stuff that we do here. So that's just normal, that's in the bylaws, that's the way we do it. So, but we have to, as an administrative task, talk about that every year. So there you got my take on what that is.
Okay.
I haven't had to do that for several years. Usually the DNR gets that taken care of pretty fast, so we don't have to worry about that. But we haven't had a big spill either, so not that big one.
Any kind of one.
Yeah.
Okay. Approve Wisconsin Emergency Management to provide compliance inspector as we have done in the past.
We haven't in the past, present company excluded, ever had anybody qualified to be a compliance inspector, so we've used the state, and I would suggest we keep doing that. So if facility doesn't report properly, or doesn't want to sign the contracts or the plans for offsite plans, then we would call the state, and the state would send a compliance inspector to make sure they get that taken care of. Which is good, because then they code first, and, chapter and verse right to them, and they get it straightened out pretty fast. So we've never taken that responsibility on before, and the state has, I think, a half a dozen now compliance inspectors to go do that. So again, I would suggest that we keep doing that as we have in the past.
Great. Do we have a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Review and approve the bylaws for 2023.
Aye.
Ron's working over there.
I sent them out to everybody as part of the packet. That's,
Oh, you have
the
some.
bylaws are required,
I guess you can work on
through the, hazmat statutes. Those have been the same, as you can tell by the print, those were made on about a 1947 printer. There's been-
Matrix.
Yeah, yeah, that Matrix is right. I don't even think I can start one of them anymore. No changes. The last time we had a change was several years ago. We changed from 4 meetings a year to 2. That's probably 6, 8 years ago. That was really the last time, and nothing has come down from the state or the feds that I know of. Is there anything that you know that had change in there? They haven't touched that much. I was telling Kathy before the meeting that I had a county board member that asked for the law, Sarah Title III, wanted to know if I had a copy of it that he could look at, and I sent him a link. I said, I'm not printing that out. It's a binder. So, I sent it to him now. So if anybody wants that or ever wants to peruse that, that's what guides LEPCs, is that Sarah, and which is where EPCR came from, so the Emergency Planning and Community Right to Know Act. So, that's what we're off of. That's, that, do need a motion on that too,
Yes.
sir.
We have a motion to approve.
I'll make that.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Review and approve membership list.
Well, we had a few changes from last time because we had some people move or change positions here. I can't remember, Lisa, did we have Annette and then you were her alternate before? I think that's what it was.
I mean, you mean Anita?
Anita.
Yeah, yeah, that's,
Anita.
that's correct.
So now we're replacing, are we putting Lisa as the lead and then Kaylee as the alternate, or the other way around?
I think we should do Kaylee as the leads.
Oh, that's right, because you're a short timer.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So again, in the spring, we'll probably have another one to replace, because Lisa will be gone. But thank you for sitting on here with us.
You're welcome.
So, okay, I will do that as the lead, and right now the alternate is Lisa.
Okay.
Yes, that's.
Andy Mautner is Scott's backup from Highway. And then Phil Undershoots is he's a county board member. He's not here today because he's going through the bylaws and the law. He's the one that asked for the Sarah.
If I have a hard copy, do you want it?
Well, I put it on the shelf if you wanna get it out of your house.
Alright.
Make some space over there.
I'll.
And, so he's going through all that with the county labor attorney to make sure that's not a problem for more than one county board member to be on this committee. So, and actually, I believe Mark Schmidt is also gonna resign before next spring, so then we won't have 2 on here again, so, and then, so we'll see this list again, in the spring with some new members. The county board chair approved those 3 new folks. Then this committee has to approve it, and then it goes to the state for the circuit approval, which, that's the stamp, and then it'll come back, and then, again, we'll have to do it again in the spring. So,
Well, do you have to take Dylan off?
I don't know if
Dylan
that's
is-
official or.
yeah, I'll do it when I get the,
Okay.
tell him I would like an email from him,
Yeah.
just saying, I mean, he'll be around for a while, so, yeah. Cause it's gonna take the DNR waiting a while to replace him.
Yeah, and he's still been acting until.
He's still active.
Active.
Well,
Until
he's
they hire
on the
another one?
18th, well, right now he's still the Rusk County ward, but on the 18th he'll be Barron, but he'll be covering Rusk
Rusk,
County, you know,
yeah.
'cause they
Yeah.
still gotta cover it, but he'll be officially a Barron.
Okay.
They already opened up his position for a lateral transfer from somebody else, but nobody wanted to come,
Mhm.
so it's still open. So the earliest we're gonna get a word, they do a hiring in January. But then they have to go like to academy, and so they're probably not gonna be functional until close to 2025.
Right, yeah, it'll be 25.
If they have to get a new one.
And the pay is based on the county, is that right? Like for the wardens, they don't,
Oh, I don't know.
oh, okay.
I'm just a dumb forest.
I thought that was the thing, that's why, like, the bigger counties, the wardens get paid.
I don't
There's a difference, so you think every warden gets
I
paid the same?
don't think so. The
I don't think
reason
that-
Dylan wanted to leave, or one of the reasons besides where he lives, here he's sort of on his island all by himself. He has to cover Varies part of there's several wardens, so they can kind of share,
Don't get called in on days off and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy, so
Right.
he's always.
Oh, yeah, I understand that.
Basically, the bigger counties and more populous counties may have more than one warden
Yeah.
Yeah.
assigned there.
But I thought there was a pay differential, but maybe not, or maybe they fixed that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You're not applying, right?
Personally, I've been away from it too long.
Yeah.
Alright, so anyway, it's still Dylan into the spring.
Tell them, yeah, so, but we'll,
I'll tell Dylan.
yeah, email me the specs so that I can just, then in the spring I can get those updated. But I will make a motion to approve that.
Okay. Have a motion? Is there a second? I'll second it. Further discussion? As Tom mentioned, this is gonna be my last meeting. I've been on the LEPC since it's,
You said the eighties.
I got the eighties, cause I don't think we could pin it down any closer than that, but it might be longer than that.
no,
Is that about when that came out?
that's when CERB came out and required, that was where every county, and looking up on the infamous internet, I couldn't find Rusk County's, adoption, but everybody else was in '87.
Yeah. I
So
know,
it's been.
we talked about it before, and I could
Yeah.
only pin it down to the eighties
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's been 36 years. That's a long time. I've seen a lot of different people on this, different people in various positions in fire and EMS. I've enjoyed it. But it is time for the younger ones to take over. After that amount of time,
Yeah,
it's time.
well, I appreciate you being on here. It's been a wealth of knowledge.
I wouldn't mind being a citizen, community member, but, I won't guarantee that I can be here all the time and.
Yeah, we might shift you around.
Okay.
Keep you.
Okay,
The next thing on the agenda is the, addendum to that other sheet, cause I make that as, item for
we need a
G.
vote on our list.
On the membership list, yep.
Yes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nay. Okay, the addendum that Tom sent out. This is.
Should be the next page after that, I think. There you go.
There we
So there's a grant available for commodity flow study. It's been available several years now. Last year we did one and they watched the highway, and the way they did it, they watched Highway 8 and 27, that was it, because that's all they had time for. And they just watched the stuff that's flowing through the county, not necessarily that's stopping here, but just flowing through the county. So we did that one. We did one 5 years before that, that was kind of the same thing. This one is gonna be a little bit different because they're gonna go to the facilities like, Rockwell and all the facilities that have, especially extremely hazardous, but they could go to any of them that have tier 2s. And they're gonna look at what chemicals they have and how they get there. So, do they come by rail, do they come by truck, do they transport them themselves, which happens with some of the bigger companies, they just bring them in themselves on a truck. So, I wasn't gonna have us participate, because I thought it was gonna be the same as last year, so we just did it. Well, then she told me they were gonna look at it at a little different angle, and, of course, Tom likes free, and this is free, because it's grant paid for. The grant pays for the hiring of the people to do it, and then grant pays for the planning and everything else, the book they put out. All we gotta do is participate, and I ain't got time for that, so that's what this is. So I just need you guys' approval for that to participate, and then I'll get that over to Polk County is gonna administer it. The last one I did, administered it for the year, so then all that is, we pay the bills, we get the money, we pay the bills. We write the grant up front. She wrote the grant already, but she was trying to get more participants, so I said, okay, Ben and Myra, let's get in on this and, see what we got out there, so, so that's what that is.
We have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a s- Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Committee members' reports and or concerns.
So if Mark and John are both leaving us, who's gonna run the ship?
I was gonna talk next to a lady named Kathy. Actually, this group, after in our meeting in the March, will
Can elect
approve
one.
the list and then we elect the chair.
So
And
you
like-
run the
within the
meeting
group.
in March?
Yeah, I'll
and
start by
then-
running it and then
Okay.
we'll elect a chair from that group.
And you can
And
elect a
like I
vice
say,
chair.
Phil is gonna stay on, and I don't know that you're going anywhere, are you, Robert?
Depends on the election.
Yeah, because we do need them elected folks, they don't need to
Right,
necessarily
right.
run the meeting, but they
Right,
need to
right,
be
right.
on the committee.
Yeah.
Right.
So, so we'll have the list and we can just talk it out and see who's interested and we'll go from there.
All right.
Yep.
And I guess my comment is that I'm glad to have Mr. Grotzinger here, our mayor. It's been a long time since we had that kind of representation from the city.
Yep,
Police
we
and
had
fire
quite a
have been here,
Yeah,
but, in the past, the
Yep.
mayor wasn't around.
right. And he and I talked about it, this committee ain't a huge commitment, it's twice a year. I try to have all the footwork done, we just gotta do what the state says we need to do. So, but yeah, I'm more than happy to have him here, and we've had some discussions about things.
Keeps things in the loop,
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
we've got trains.
Oh, we got
Lots of trains going through
Lots of
town,
trains, lots of trucks.
Yeah.
lots of trucks, and,
A lot of other people's stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
all
not
we
necessarily our
need is
stuff.
one.
Yeah, they keep happening, there was supposed to be a big training at the Lady Smith Fire Hall, I believe that was last Saturday, it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Train derailments, and they had to cancel because they had a train derailment in Minnesota that Ken Collins had to go there, and he was gonna be one of the instructors, so they
Okay.
canceled the training, and all their
Wow.
guys were up there, so,
Sure.
I don't know where in Minnesota, northern Minnesota someplace, is all I heard, but,
There's a lot of them.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Where would they used to be?
yeah. 29 is the average now, I think.
29 a day, yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have what's the speed
A
limit?
day?
45 is on most of the track, I don't, did they drop to 35 and down?
No, they're still going through it pretty good.
45 it must be then, yeah.
They
claim 45, but they're.
Some of them are moving
Once
faster.
you start backing up away from the train tracks, more we stop.
Yeah.
There's 29 a day.
Is it 35 or 45 in town?
Oh, so it could
Is
not
it-
be.
They said it
different
doesn't
at
change.
Okay.
They don't change when they come through town.
They go slower sometimes.
Yeah, I think at night.
That's all
they
depending
have
on the
to
track.
At
change.
night they go slower, but
Mhm.
during the daytime, they're flying, and
That sand train runs slower once it gets off this track. So when it's going east-west, it runs a lot slower, probably, but that track's not made for, it's not maintained for 45, 50 miles an hour, it's maintained, I think, for 30. So, which gives you a couple more seconds at that intersection to see them coming, because they're not stopping.
you know, and as a sideline, we've had 2 fatalities on the tracks. I remember when I first moved here in 1977, I would hunt up north of Crane on some forest cropland. And we'd walk down the tracks to go to the deer stand. You don't do that anymore. You've got passing tracks all through that whole line. So you can have one train going north, and just as soon as that last car gets by you, within 10-15 minutes, you can have another one eyeballing it south with the passing tracks.
Oh, yeah.
And people don't realize that.
Yeah, by the time you hear them, they're coming, I mean, they're there.
Yes, they're there. Yeah. Any other concerns or comments? Next meeting date?
Well, the date's wrong, sorry about that, it is March 8th, but it's 2024, not 23. One of my proofreaders called me and let me know that, so I was like, put it in there and fix that. It wasn't Kathy this
Yeah,
time.
I know, I'm slipping.
Yeah. But I appreciate the proofreading, you know, when I put these together and it's like, you can only read them so many times, they still look the same. So, but yeah, that'll be the spring meeting then,
That'll be the spring meeting.
probably held right in this here room.
You might have to figure out how to get in with the new security
Yeah.
protocol.
Yeah, for now, the east door here will be open, the normal hours, like 6:30 to 4:30 or 5:30, I think, whatever they should, 4:30, I think they close it. But in the future, the hope is to make it secure like the schools are, where they come in and they go to the clerk's window and get buzzed into the rest of the building before they can even get in. As far as, visitors, citizens, employees can still get into any of the doors with their, whatever the key code will get them into. So, they did wire, if you notice it out here, there's a camera right there. There's not many places in the hallways anymore where you could stop and they can't see you in dispatch. They've got enough cameras for the whole building, and you might have noticed these great gates, those will be closed like today at 12:30, those will go closed, cause that's the end of the normal business hours on Friday. Employees can still get out certain paths, but, like they come down third floor and they go that way, but they can't go, if they parked out there or there, they gotta go around the building. So that's gonna take a little training, but people will figure it out. So,
Do you know how they're gonna do it, like with the, sheriff's department and PD?
they can get buzzed in the door there by those folks.
Okay, same way for,
Dispatch, like they do after hours, so they come in between the doors, they push the button, dispatch sees them, buzzes them in, and they're only got access then to that
To that.
elevator that goes to only second floor or to the window there.
To the
They
window.
can't get through this side of the building,
okay,
those are gonna be locked down.
same way for the county board meetings then.
Correct,
Okay.
they'll have to come in that way. Dispatch does have a lock all button, so I was worried about that with security. You know, we got all these new electric locks in here, but the only ones they do would lock down are the outside ones, you know, if we had a intruder or a threat.
Mhm.
So the guy sat right here the other day, I caught him when he was leaving, I said, we've got all these other doors in the system. He goes, no, why? They all need to be in, I mean, if somebody's in here, we wanna make them safe, never our employees, you need to hit that button and everything locks, so that's the way it is now. From dispatch, they can hit one button, lock it, they turn it, pull it back out, it unlocks, goes back to the status it was in, so that's nice.
That's
A nice,
good.
nice thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Cause otherwise you get a false security when you got a lock on your door, you think,
Yeah,
well, something bad's happened, it's gonna lock, you know, it needs to lock.
unfortunately, times have changed and we have to consider these kind of things.
Yeah,
Okay,
but yeah, so next meeting, we should be able to come right in that door, I don't think, they're not gonna have the super secure, like, school system thing done by next spring. That's gonna take some time, 'cause that's gonna be a big expense.
oh yes. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Alright.
Opposed?
Yeah, I must stay there.
We're trying
to stay on here.
Fast.
No, it's just to be a good day, Cal.
It's gonna be a nice day,
Yeah.
a lot better than last week.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
she was hot early in the week, ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had a nice compared